Today on the Lamont N Leah podcast, we will be talking about suicide prevention and learning how to act.
This is a very hard subject for some people. If you're not comfortable listening to this conversation, then we invite you to opt out and tune in next week. I'm Lamont, and I love working with teen people and people.
And I'm Leah, and I believe in people.
And you're tuning into the Lamont N Leah
podcast.
It is October, people, and it is Suicide Prevention Month. Different schools are celebrating how to teach, teaching, educating, pouring into our youth the importance of seeking help if you need help. And sometimes we all need a little bit of help.
Yes.
So, to start us off, Leah, I have a video of teen people speaking out and stuff.
I have my ups and downs, just like anybody else.
Maybe more than anybody else.
I can be hard to figure out.
And I like my privacy.
I don't want you looking over my shoulder all the time.
But you know your kid better than anybody else. And if you think he's acting different than usual,
Acting really down, crying all the time for no good reason.
Or getting really mad, not able to sleep, or sleeping too much.
Shutting her friends out or giving her stuff away.
Acting reckless, drinking, using drugs, staying out late.
Suddenly not doing stuff he used to love.
or doing stuff that's just not like him.
It might be nothing to worry about. It might just be high school.
Or it might be something more. He might be depressed.
Not just feeling down, really depressed.
It might be that your kid is thinking about killing himself.
It happens. More than you think. More than it should.
And people say, I had no idea.
I thought it was just a phase he was going through.
I never thought she'd do it.
I wish he'd come to me.
I wish he'd said
I
something.
wish I'd said something.
When it's too late. So if you think your kid's acting different, if she seems like a different person, say something.
Say, what's wrong? How can I help?
And ask straight out. Are you thinking about killing yourself? It doesn't hurt to ask. In fact, it helps.
When people are thinking about killing themselves, they want somebody to ask.
They want somebody to care.
Maybe you're afraid you'll make it worse if you ask. Like, you'll put the idea in their head.
Believe me, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't hurt to ask.
In fact, the best way to keep a teenager from killing herself is to ask, are you thinking about killing yourself?
And what if they say yes?
Or maybe.
Or sometimes,
Well, here's what you don't say.
That's crazy.
Don't be such a drama
you're
queen.
making too much of this.
That boy's not worth killing yourself over.
That's not going to solve anything.
You're just trying to get attention.
You're not going to kill yourself.
What you do say is,
I'm sorry you're feeling so bad. How can I help?
We'll get through this together.
Let's keep you safe.
A lot of people think about killing themselves, adults and kids.
most of them never try it, but some of them do. So if your kid says,
I'd be better off dead.
I can't live with
I'm
this.
gonna kill myself,
Take her seriously. Find someone she can talk to about it. Someone who knows how to help.
Sometimes kids want to kill themselves because something happened. A breakup, a failure. But sometimes it goes deeper, and it's not going to go away by itself.
Get some help. Talk to your doctor.
Or a counselor at school.
Or your minister.
but don't just let it drop.
And make sure that your kid always has someone to turn to. Someone he trusts.
Make a list together, right then. 3, 4, 5 names.
Put a suicide hotline number on there too.
Have him keep that list in his wallet, so he always knows where to turn.
Make sure your home is safe.
If you have pills she could use to hurt herself, lock them up.
If you have a gun, don't just lock it up. Get it out of the house. The bullets, too.
And one more thing. If you think your kid might be about to hurt himself, don't leave him alone.
Take him to the emergency room.
Call 911 if you have to.
We all have our ups and downs, but sometimes it's more than that.
If you think something's wrong, the only way to find out is to ask.
Ask straight out. Are you thinking about killing yourself?
Don't wait until you're sure. Trust your gut.
Because it never hurts to ask.
And it can make a big difference. All the difference.
In your kid's life.
What did you think of the video?
I thought it was very informative. I would say it was kind of dramatic.
A little
But
bit.
I think they were trying to push a point, so I'll forgive them. But I do like that they had different types of kids. I'm assuming they all looked pretty young, so I'm just gonna refer to them as like teens. I like that they had different types of teens. Some looked a little older, some looked a little younger, different,
Nationalities.
ethnicities, stuff like that. Yeah. So I like that. I really like some of the signs that they gave, and also how they pointed out, like, but sometimes that's just how teenagers act.
Right.
Because before they said that, I was just like, yeah, but that's what I did, like, just every single day. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good starting point for people.
Was there a message in there that stood out more than any other?
I think they tried to touch on it, but I kind of wish they had pushed it just a little bit more. Communication. Because of course they're just like, oh yeah, pay attention and ask them about it. But I think before someone gets to that place, there also just needs to be general communication. And then you can actually see different signs and different changes. Because if you're not communicating with, at least in this example, your child, you're not going to really know that something is wrong or different. You know? But yeah, so I kind of wish they had brought a little bit more about just like communication in general, but it was just a really short video, so.
Yeah, it was really short. So, do you, Leah, know what to look for or to recognize any signs of suicide?
Maybe just a little bit. I mean, I went through some general training when I was an RA, but like, we're not trained for that.
Right.
There's other people trained for that. We're just reporters.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess your basics, sudden change in personality or the way they're acting, not wanting to interact with people, verbally saying things like, oh, I wish I wasn't here, I wish I was dead, stuff like that.
If someone is verbally saying something like that, it should always be taken seriously. Like,
Yeah.
And hopefully, like, if you have a jokester around, they'll learn not to joke about that, because it's really not something you should be joking about.
Exactly. But besides that, I would say, yeah, that's about it.
So how would you, like, if you recognized it, how would you respond? How would you act to make sure they were safe?
So I guess what would be different from what that video said for me personally is, I guess I would feel super uncomfortable assuming someone is thinking about suicide. So I would have a really hard time going, are you thinking about killing yourself? So for me, it would be just being more observant, being more like available, letting them know I'm available, so that, if it's something they are thinking about, that, if they do want to talk about it, they can come to me. I mean, I probably should be a little more comfortable with just asking up front, but for me, that's a little uncomfortable, so I don't know.
No, I think for a lot of people, it's uncomfortable asking that. It's not natural. It's not something people practice or probably even think about often. So that's why it's important for us to have these trainings, just not in the month of October, but all year long, so we know what to do, especially in today's age of easy access to information and so mental processes going on and stuff. But yeah, I think for me, Leah, like, I don't think I would just jump off the bat and ask. If I had an inkling, I probably would watch myself, and then like two or three things would need to pop up, right? Like, either they're like saying something like actively, like, I want to die. Then I think I would be comfortable, be like, hey, like, are you thinking about suicide?
Yeah.
Are you thinking about killing yourself or taking your life? Like, I would say it that direct, and it's important to say it that direct. It's like, it's going to cause kids or people to think about it. But the reality is they're probably already thinking about it, and it's more of a relief, like, you've recognized it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, finally I can talk about this. But again, it's how you say it. I feel like I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Because your tone matters, right? If I come after you with a judgmental tone like, Leah, please tell me you're not thinking about killing yourself. Are you going to be like, are you going to tell me the truth?
Probably not.
Probably not, right? You're probably going to retreat like, oh my God. So tone and what you say matter. All right. So a lot of people don't know what to do. Leah, do you say you 100% know what to do? Like if you saw someone that really needed help?
Probably not.
Probably not. All right. So I'm going to make it simple and easy. I'm going to tell you to act. A.C.T. The A stands for acknowledge.
Okay.
Talk about or point out the signs of suicide or the warning signs that you see. C, care. Show them that you care. Make sure you're listening and watch your biases and your attitude towards people who might be in trouble. And lastly is T. Tell. Talk about it. Tell someone. If you're a young elementary kid through high school, tell a trusted adult, a parent, a counselor, a teacher. Yes, will your friends be mad at you? I'm going to say there's a possibility. But in the long run, if they really needed the help, then they're going to be thankful. And even if they didn't need the help and like they were just being weird and having all these weird signs, it still shows that you care.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you care about their safety, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, so with that said, act. I hope you guys will act. I hope that'll be easy for you to remember. So, Leah, what does ACT stand for?
A is acknowledge, talk about or point out concerning things, right? C is care, show that you care. I'd like to add on to that, be available for them. And T, tell, get help. Tell someone, a parent, counselor, if you're in church, pastor, I don't know, a doctor.
One that you have a really good relationship with, right? And then let's talk more about to adults or parents who are working with adults or trying to save their teen's life, right? I feel like there's a little bit more responsibility on you. Like, call 911. It's okay. Like, if you really like have that feeling, like it's gone past a point of no return, there's lots of like hopelessness, they're withdrawing, they're giving things away, they're isolating, or there's more alcohol or drug consumption, you know, like they probably need help and they probably don't know how to ask for it.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of shame with not being okay or knowing how to be okay or not feeling okay. Right? There's a difference between depression and sadness. Leah.
Yes.
Do you know the difference between sadness and depression?
I believe sadness is usually like more temporary. And is it like situational? Like something made you sad and you're not going to be sad for like ever. Like something happened that caused you to be sad, and maybe a few minutes, hours, days, you're fine.
Yeah.
You know? And you may dwell on it a little bit afterwards, but ultimately you're fine.
Yeah. You can still go through your like daily routine, get things done and stuff.
Yeah. Whereas depression, I feel like doesn't usually have a reason sometimes. Like sometimes there's something that causes it and brings it on, but for the most part, it just happens. Nothing in particular. And it lasts for a while.
Yeah. It's literally a chemical imbalance. We had Dr. Claudia Thomas on, who's a psychiatrist, and a lot of her patients deal with depression, anxiety, and more severe symptoms.
Yeah. And I feel like some of the things with depression, also can be seen as warning signs for suicide, but aren't necessarily all the time. And that would be, not being able to like do things that you would daily, like, you know, going to take a shower, cleaning your room,
Yes.
changing your clothes, eating a proper meal. So I think that's why the communication aspect is really important, because there are a lot of people who have depression, struggle with depression, that are not suicidal. They don't want to. They're just depressed, and like we said, it's a medical condition. But yeah, I think that's where the communication aspect comes into play.
Leah, hearing you say that just made me think of something that did stand out in the video to me. They said lots of teens and adults think about killing themselves and never even try. Like having that conversation, like, hey, like, this is normal. These thoughts are normal, but if you're going to act on them, I'm available for you. And these people are available, and there is help, and you care, and you matter.
Exactly.
All right. So if you've been paying attention in the comments, tell me what ACT stands for. I want to know if you know how to do it and if you're prepared. And so I guess like I want to kind of give you guys some scenarios. I was looking so hard for videos, and I was literally thinking, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for this, so I didn't do it. But like I teach this curriculum, right? And I was like, well, what would be wrong with me just showing the video so people can know, right? Like more people would know, but I'm pretty sure there's some legal stuff.
Yeah, probably.
So then I was looking for other videos where we could watch. I didn't find any. Where people like intervene and like they talk to the person and they did it wrong and then they did the correct way. I was not able to find anything like that out there, unfortunately. So I kind of just want to like maybe talk about some scenarios.
Okay.
Since I couldn't like show legally, I think.
Yeah.
So better to be err on the side of caution.
Yeah, true.
2 teen boys, and one teen boy is looking for his sister's cleats, and his friend comes in, and the boy is just really angry, and he's telling his friend, man, like, I hate life right now, it sucks, I have to look for these cleats. My mom can't afford new cleats. My older brother spends all his money on chips and video games. He doesn't contribute to my younger sisters, and I'm a middle schooler, and there's nothing I can do. And I'm just having a really hard time right now. Just like focusing in school. I kind of wish that I could like just be with my uncle who has passed. Okay. How do you think that boy responds?
Well, if they're in middle school, he's probably just not going to say anything. He's probably just going to be like, okay.
Right. Well, I think in the first scenario, he's like, hey, like, maybe we should talk to somebody. And then he's like, you better not tell anyone. Otherwise, like, I'll be very angry. Like, I'm fine. I'm just tired. Like, it's just hard. And he's like, fine, dude. Like, you don't have to threaten me or be mad at me. I'm your friend. I just came to help you, like hang. But I'm not going to say anything, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. That is the wrong thing to do, right? You know, like if you're like, so the kid was extremely angry, and like that's not normal for this kid to be like extremely angry. Maybe some anger, but not like how he was experiencing it. It was kind of newish. It was different, not typical. So he could recognize that, right? The things that he was saying, he can point that out to him and stuff. And in the second scenario, he does do that, right? He was like, hey man, like, I hear you. You sound tired. You look tired. And the things that you were saying, remember when we went over in suicide prevention class? Like, it's concerning. I think we should get some help. And the kid's like, I don't want to talk to anybody. Like, nobody. And so the younger boy was like, hey, let's talk to my mom. Like, I trust her. she can help us like figure this out. And the boy agrees, right? But he didn't leave him alone. And you don't want to leave someone who might be suicidal or have suicide thoughts. And I think he actually asked him point blank, like, are you thinking of suicide at one point? And he says yes, right? So at that point, you definitely don't want to leave someone alone. You want to make sure you get them connected, get them help. And we have numbers for you guys to utilize. So it's 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. Or you can text ACT to 741-741. That's ACT to 7, A-C-T, to 741-741. And you can text with people that are waiting to text with you. So if you don't want to speak on the phone, there's a text number available for you. And what's really cool is, like, say like you're listening to our video today and you're not even suicidal, or you don't have a problem with this at all, but you come across someone who might even need the resource. Maybe it's not even you, maybe it's a friend of a friend. And that friend's like, hey, my friend's struggling with this. I would put these numbers in my phone so you just have them, so you can like give them to people who might need them.
That's a good.
And together we can like
idea. Yeah.
help. I think that's pretty much all we need to talk about, right? I feel like the video gave us some really good ideas on what to say or how to say them, what not to say. And then I love the idea about trusted friend or trusted people, like 5 names, and having the numbers ready and stuff. Those are some great ways to prevent, because I think what's happening is people are feeling disconnected or hopeless. And like, I'm thinking back to my younger years. I think, Leah, this is right before I met you. Knowing that I was struggling with homoerotic tendencies. Is that even correct to say? Because I don't think I was even thinking of sex.
No.
But like, I knew that I liked. I knew because I was really young. I don't think I was thinking.
Homosexual thoughts.
Yeah.
There you go. Homoerotic.
But like, I was so in love, and I still am, but I was so in love with the Lord and having a relationship with Christ, and being devastated that there's something possibly wrong with me, and disappointing my family, God, and the world. That's a lot on a little boy, in a little boy's head, on his shoulders, right? And there was a time of hopelessness and sadness and probably, I wouldn't say depression, but deep sadness, deep pain, deep agony, and me just wanting that pain to end. And I did consider like taking my life with a knife, you know. I didn't, but it was definitely a consideration. So it gets better.
Yeah, that's kind of like, if anyone who's still listening, you decided not to like opt out of listening to today's podcast, that's kind of like what I want to tell people. And I think I don't think we said it in an earlier video, but like, it does get better. Like, I don't want to sound like a textbook, like everything gets better, just buckle up, you know? Because like, that realistically, it's not realistic.
Yeah, not
much.
everything. Not everything.
Like, how do I say this? Like, I just want to encourage people to keep pushing forward. Because like, sometimes it sucks, and sometimes it sucks for a while. But I am I have a very strong belief that it does get better in some ways.
Yes.
And like, there's a lot of people who are just like, oh, nothing will get better unless you try. Eh. I mean, I think there's some merit to that line of thought, but I don't think you have to be like, you know, I don't think it's fair to say, like, if you don't try, it will never get better, you know? I feel like things in life are just always changing and moving and flowing that, like,
Like a wave.
yeah. Um, and so I think just like holding on for a little bit and talking to someone, even if you're not feeling like you want to take your own life, but like if you're going through something, talk to someone, a therapist, a friend, a dog. Like I talk to my dog all the time, and it's really helpful to just like verbally say those things, because sometimes the thoughts like kind of get like stuck in your head and you keep ruminating on them all the time. And it really helps to just like say it. I don't know, talk to a mirror, talk to a stuffed animal. Um, but sometimes just hearing yourself say, like, I'm struggling with this thing. These are my thoughts on it. Sometimes you can just be like, oh, okay. So that's where I'm coming from. And I mean, I just like to think that it does get better.
Yeah, it really does get better. For a lot of people. And again, like situations are different and things, and hardships are hard and they come, but life does get better. It in different aspects, right? Like we've heard Leia on the show talk about moving away to Hawaii. I honestly think life got better for her like that. Not that she would be like terribly depressed if she would have stayed in California. I'm pretty sure she would have found a way to move forward and on, but I don't think she would have been as happy as she was. And even though she had some hardships in college, those hardships taught her the lessons that made her the adult that she is today. And she's doing so much better. And does she still have hardships? She still has hardships.
Yes.
But she knows how to like manage a little bit better. And when it gets overwhelming, but off camera, she might cry a little bit and tell me about it, but then she's right back on track, you know? But that's
Yeah.
part of life.
Yeah.
We all have hardships.
And I
and we
think
can
of,
make it.
yeah, having that mindset of like, okay, this situation sucks, but I'm going to learn from it. You know, and sometimes it's hard to think when you're in the situation like, oh, I'm going to learn from this. But taking those types of opportunities and just thinking of it that way, okay, like, all right, so this situation's happening. I'm not happy about it. Let me learn about this. What caused this? What brought this on? Let's change that, you know? And I know for some people that's, you know, that's hard, and it takes a lot of practice. But yeah, you can't get better at that unless you do it.
So if you're still listening and maybe you've struggled with suicide in the past, I think I still want to know, like, if you're comfortable commenting your story or sharing your story, like, tell me this is what I was going through and this is what I thought. And then I'm still here. I survived it. I would love to hear those stories.
Me too. To relate to today's topic, you know, we all go through stuff. We all go through our own hardships. And even if we're not, you know, contemplating, you know, suicide or things like that or hurting ourselves, sometimes you just need something to help you get through it. So today I would like for us to share the things that help us get through it, whether it's a song or an activity or, you know, for you a Bible verse or just a motto or something. Yeah, so I'd like to share those with people and maybe those can help someone.
Sounds good. Currently, like mine is let's go. Like I've been working out and that's my current one. I've had several different mottos or mantras over the years, including Akuna Matata. But no, one of the ones I used for a while, it was my Thea's. like it's a Bible verse too, I think, and a song, I think. This too shall pass. I used to use that for a while. But yeah, I have so many that I love the one from Help where you is kind, you is smart, you is important. I love that one as well. What about you, Leia?
For me, mine's a little mine's a little funny, I think. But backstory. When I was younger, my mom used to, kids, they get all worked up. Parent has to come in and soothe them. And so what my mom used to do is she would give me a hug, and she would either like pet my hair or just hug me tighter or rock, or kind of changed as I got a little older. But and she would just softly tell me it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Until I would calm down, and then we would either move on or talk about it or something. And so and this is the funny part. As we all know, I am an elder emo, and one of my favorite bands in the world is My Chemical Romance. And one of their most iconic songs is the song I'm Not Okay. And for some reason, that song, with the memory of my mom's soothing techniques, really just like stands out to me. And like, that's not really a song that people should like, it's not like a song like everything's gonna be all right. It's like a song that's very just like, no, everything sucks, I'm upset. But just relating those two things for me really works. And so just the phrase it's okay or I'm not okay really just resonates with me.
So maybe it's okay not to be okay, which is Demi Lovato's new song.
Oh
Not
yeah.
new, but like
Yeah, I know their song, yeah. But those things just kind of like, they just click together for me. Yeah, it's one of my favorite My Chemical Romance albums as well.
Is that the song that goes I? No, just kidding, never mind.
For me, it's a lot of music. That's how I cope with a lot of stuff. I always get asked, especially by Patrick, is why when I'm sad, I want to listen to sad music or angry music. And for me, it helps me accept the emotion of being sad, or accept the emotion of being angry, and knowing that someone else out there is relating to me, even though it's a song.
Yeah, I feel that. Also, I feel like early on it might have been a rebellious thing. I'm pretty sure you were told like you can't do that. Like it's gonna just make you worse. And
Yeah.
you're like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
But no, like I totally get that.
Yeah. So I'm definitely like accepting the being in my feels thing that I've been doing lately. I'm fine with it. I like processing it, and it's helped me get through some stuff.
No, a song that used to get me through high school was Pink's Family Portrait, right? Where my grandma was tripping. I think she was going through menopause and we didn't realize it. But like there was a lot going on, like emotionally. Like obviously like we were never abused or anything like that. Like physically abused. But there was a lot of things said, hurtful things said. And I feel like that can leave even more scars than like physical abuse sometimes. And so like I would like sing that song and pour all my emotions into that song and feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
But that song really had nothing to do with me, but like I can understand like someone's parent leaving because of spilt milk or like or whatever. Like just like I could understand those feelings and I could relate in that way.
Oh, and my other one is, I actually had completely forgotten about this one until a little bit ago when I saw something that said it, and I was like, whoa. And it is the phrase, there's always a rainbow after the rain.
Oh, I love that
Yeah,
phrase.
I like that one. I used to have that on my wall as a kid, and my mom was like, why do you have that up there? And I was just like, I don't have time to explain this. Why do you think?
Because it's true.
It's true.
First of all,
Science?
it's true. It's science. But mom, come on. You're not a dumb blonde.
But yes, so those are some things that helped me get through some hard patches. Lamont shared his. Let us know in the comments if you have any other suggestions, or maybe you guys have the same thing. Maybe someone else listens to My Chemical Romance and goes, yes, I'm better now.
Yeah, let us know your mantras, your mottos, songs that got you through a hard time. That's all good stuff.
Yes.
This might have been a tough episode for you guys to hear or follow, but really, really, I want to stress the point of getting professional help. If someone breaks their leg or has the flu, they need to go to the doctor and get professional treatment. If someone ends up having depression or some kind of other mental health condition that interferes with life, they need professional help. Whether that be medicine, whether that be talking, whether that be a combination of both, people need help. And it's okay to need help sometimes. And when we get the correct help, we can get better. And it does get better. So please, if you need that help, don't be afraid to seek it.
Exactly.
All right. Leah, is there anything you want to say before we wrap up for the day?
Just reach out to people. I think especially because right now everyone's going through it. Just reach out to people, check in on your friends, or if you need, to talk to someone, reach out to someone. Message us. We'll try and reply too.
We will talk to you. We will reply.
Exactly. But other than that, I think we covered a lot today. Let us know if you have any questions or need any additional resources.
Today's life lesson is living life. How we live is what makes us real. The important thing to you is not how much years is in your life, but how much life is in your years. Think about it. And that's today's life lesson.